Guys, welcome to another video. Cuinix here, back at it again with yet another one, and my neighbor is staring at me. So I just put a poll on Instagram asking people guess what I'm doing with the Probox. As you can see, leo nimeweza kupata gari for the video. My neighbor owns a Probox and amekubali kunisaidia for the video, of which I really appreciate. Thank you. So with that being said, nitasoma obviously the normal stuff, the history kidogo of the car. So allow me niwasome because it's a lot of stuff. Yeah, basically the Toyota Probox is a light commercial van produced by Toyota since July of 2002. It's also called the Mazda family van since 2018, and it's still in production from 2002 till now. Yeah, it's mainly assembled in Japan. It has a really the city. It's in Kyoto, Japan. Yeah, the class is a light commercial vehicle with a body style of a 5-door station wagon. The layout, it basically has a front engine, front wheel drive, FWD, and a front engine 4-wheel drive on other platforms, I believe. Yeah, on other models. Yeah, it's related to the Toyota Succeed. They're in the same family. So hey guys, najua notice like nimechange where I was shooting. That is kwa sababu jana I lost all the footage while I was cutting and pasting. Basically there was some, I don't know what happened what happened to the data between the memory card and the computer, but while I was cutting and pasting, something just happened, and I lost a lot of data and a lot of footage. Basically whatever I shot on that particular day. So you can in this dilemma, so I have to reshoot all those clips. A lot of pain, lots of pain. But anyway, it is what it is. It is what it is. Basically, this is a playlist to explain the best way to modify a car. Basically, I'll be choosing a car each week or each video, and telling you the best way that I see fit to modify it. Basically, every car is customizable to your taste, except for this one. This one at a mini. Yeah, I'm missing a hope. I don't know what you can do that, but always start with wheel tires and suspension. Breakdown will be really simple. It will cover 3 areas. The first area will be the interior. Basically interior mods kenye unaweza fanya ndani ya gari, seats, sound systems, all that stuff. The second part of the modification process would be the exterior. Basically this will cover paint, what paint is best for the car that is being featured yenye nitakuwa naongelea, or the paint, whether there is a body kit or a white body kit. Basically exterior stuff, wheels and tires, vitu zenye zitafanya visual representation from the outside. And the third thing would be performance. Basically performance will cover what gains you can do to the car, whether it be turbocharging, naturally aspirated tuning, cheap tuning, just basically get some oomph out of your engine. So that is what performance will cover. And that being said, it's a really simple breakdown. It covers simple stuff. I believe that everybody modifying a car anafuata that type of process. Yeah, so obviously inaweza kuwa ninawaambia a lot of stuff, fuel economy, what is else, durability and all that. But nikiangalia analytics, most of you are from 18 to 30 hapo. So that fuel economy, I don't think it's one of the biggest problem. But with that being said, I would like to start on the first process, which would be interior mods. So with the Probox, Toyota kind of went a little bit simple on the interior, not a lot of stuff to mess around with. They did the basic stuff, basically function of a luxury. They didn't put a lot of luxury into a Probox, a basic car, which is okay. So if I was modifying the interior, I'd probably follow the manufacturer's lead on this. Basically do some simple stuff so as to not make it look overdone. I would probably start with the aftermarket steering wheel, custom interior, but choose some subtle colors. Do not make it look overdone, because utaingia kwa shimo and people will laugh at you. Don't be that guy. Bucket seats, I saw one on the internet with bucket seats, some Recaros. I think if I see like copyright ziko sawa, I'll just overlay the clip of a Probox with the bucket seats, some Recaros. The next thing I'd do probably would be sound system. Unajua the Probox, it's a van with a 5-door it's a van with a wagon configuration, so it has a lot of space to mess around. So unaweza ka subs, unaweza ka one sub, two subs, a woofer, a lot of sound stuff, because the space is there, because this car was made to haul cargo, so a lot of space is there. So sound system sound really good on this, and I believe unaweza pata you achieve really nice sounds with what the interior has to offer. So that is what I'll probably do to the interior if I was doing it myself, and I'd advise you to do the same. So with that being said, I'd like to move on to the second area, which is aesthetics. I'd like to start with paint, because it's the first thing you see on a car. Any car, there is something else you see uko na shida. So paint, with the Probox, it's a really huge car, lots of surface area. With the huge cars, you have two things: you either do big things or do big things, go big or go home, or stay subtle and stay safe. With the guys my age, we don't have a lot of money, because going big, obviously going big, italeta a lot of costs, expensive stuff, and sometimes going big doesn't turn out so well, and you might just save a lot of money and put it into a car, and it doesn't turn out good, just turns out, and then you're car dumb, and you don't want to be that guy that everybody sees as dumb. So next thing would be, I would probably advise somebody to do some subtle things. The car came from the factory mostly in white, silver, basic colors, as in two-tone, as in living. You can choose one basic color. Also, you can do like one color for the whole car, and leave the trims black if you feel like it, or you can just paint all of them. They both look good. I'd personally leave the trims to be black with whatever color I'm choosing, because it will always look good, OEM type of style. So yeah, okay, with I move on to the body kit, or white body. I know there isn't a lot of stuff out there for the Probox talking body kit wise. Just some companies out there experimenting with some fiberglass. I know BD Kits makes a replacement kit for the front and the rear bumper and the side skirts. So I believe BD Kits, they are trying something with that. There is this subtle kit I got online. I'm overlaying the clip right now. Hii kit sijui inajengwa na kampuni gani, because most of that stuff is in Chinese Mandarin, and I can't read Chinese, so, or Japanese, yeah, that type stuff. So I don't know what the name is. If you ever meet this video, please mtumoyata afanye research. The clip I'm overlaying right now, what kit is that, because it looks really, really nice on a Probox. I never thought a Probox would look that good. So yeah, on to tires, wheels and tires. So when it comes to wheels and tires, the Probox is really forgiving with whatever you choose for it. Whether you're that type of person who likes that slim look with a big rim offset and a slim tire, looks really good when lowered. Or if you choose like something like a big meaty tire for like an off-road type of look, it looks really good. I mean, look at this. But just don't try and off-road a Probox. It literally has next to none off-road capabilities. I mean, none. Don't do it. Unless you are that type of person when you have to invest a lot into suspension stuff. I believe any car is off-roadable. All you need is more money. And if you're doing subtle stuff, I don't think off-roading a Probox would be the best platform to start out with. Yeah. So yeah, that is what I'd say about the exterior stuff. Exterior stuff, it's a Probox, it's a basic car. Uki overdo a lot of things unaweza chomeka. Uki stay subtle, you stay safe, hakuna mtu ataanza kukuita you look dumb and stuff, all those bad things the car community calls people racers. So just stay safe, and I believe utakuwa in that position where you can appreciate your build. I'd like to move on to the last part, which would be performance. Basically, performance, talks about, power gains. If you're that type of person who prefers, some oomph on your ride, some boost, there is hope for you still. Even though there is no reason to make a Probox fast, because it literally has the drag coefficient of a brick. Yeah. So, but everybody has different tastes. So there is still hope for you yet. So whatever car you want to make fast, that is your choice. So on the Probox, it uses the 1NZ platform, the 1NZ, 2NZ, which are really used on a lot of other cars in the Toyota lineup. So the aftermarket support is significant. Let's say out of 100, you go up 80% for the engine. So there are three things you can do to gain performance out of the NZ motor. So the first one would be NA tuning, which speaks for naturally aspirated tuning. Basically, this type of tuning encapsulates making the car breathe better. So okay, najua sound far-fetched, but listen, this is what you do. So basically, I would start with doing a cold air intake. The stock intake is really restrictive on this. So ukitoa hiyo intake, put a cold air intake. It removes the restrictions the stock one has. I'd probably also do a headers ni exhaust. Zinakuwaga something you need to do with the exhaust. So when you buy headers, buy an exhaust system with it, so ikuja complete. So ukitoa the stock one, you put a aftermarket one, also less restrictive. So basically with NA tuning, you are trying to get more air in, and more air in faster and more air out faster through the exhaust. Easy stuff. Basically you stick to the basics, doing camshafts. I mean, not camshafts. For the intake and the outtake side, intake and exhaust. Yeah, some exhaust stuff. And I believe cheap tuning is available on the NZ platform. I have a friend who was on NZ on his car, and amefanya some cheap tuning, and nikisema cheap namaanisha access port tuning type of stuff. Unanielewa? Yeah. Any tuning on this platform has doing what I've just said up, intake, camshafts, exhaust. Imeonyesha kugain upwards to 20 horsepower. And I don't know if you do 20 horsepower is a lot. Those are 20 horses you just added doing some basic stuff. So and also if you want some advanced stuff, you have to do some more and more tuning. Maybe you go to a tuner, neglect the cheap. Basically, performance-wise, the next thing you can do would be turbocharging the engine. Basically, the basic explanation of a turbocharger is an air compressor that is exhaust-driven. It uses turbine technology to force air into the intake port of the engine. So basically, and the force is measured in PSI, because it's air pressure, so PSI. It's also what we call boost, and it's also measured in bars. So okay, with the turbocharger, lots of companies make bolt-on kits for the turbo bolt-on kits, but I'd probably advise somebody to consider the option of the TRD, which is Toyota Racing Development. Basically, they have a kit that is for sale. So that they have a kit that is for sale that literally bolts onto your stock engine, and enables you fanye some tuning with some stock internals. So it won't gain a lot of horsepower, but I believe the gains are significant. 150 to 160 HP. That is a lot, and especially when the boost hits. Kama na tuna mzuri, somebody who knows what he's doing, I believe unaweza achieve even more. if you replace the turbo with a bigger size turbo, because the one that comes with the the TRD is kind of, you know, small. So on to the third thing you can do performance wise, which would be supercharging. Basically a supercharger is just like a turbo, but the difference is a supercharger is belt driven, so where a turbocharge is exhaust driven. So, you know, with the turbocharger, exhaust, you know, spins the turbine, but with the supercharger, a belt, you know, spins the turbine. So, and which it's connected to the engine. So the more you rev, the more you create boost, which is also measured in PSI, bars of boost. Yeah, supercharger, unajoga with the NZ platform being used in a lot of, you know, a lot of cars, from the Auris to the Fielder to some, you know, only just the Vitz, a lot of cars. So supercharging, I believe, considering my research, I believe that more companies out there prefer making a supercharger, because there are more companies making superchargers than more companies making turbochargers for this platform. So but the one that is widely used, the one that I found that was really widely used, was the one from Blitz. It's basically kind of, you know, cheap, and it's really that high quality stuff. It's not like high quality kabisa, but the quality is okay considering what you're paying. Relatively gains of up to 150. I believe you know, superchargers are not as strong as turbochargers, because, you know, they are limited to the speed of the engine, but they do offer a wider range of power across the rev range. So yeah, unajoga with the turbocharger, lazima ungoje, you know, that boost lag, lazima you build pressure through the exhaust. But with the supercharger, it's connected to a belt, so the more you rev, the more you create boost, but you're limited to the RPM. So yeah, upwards to 0.7 bars of boost, which is kind of okay, you know. As we said before, it's a Probox. There isn't much you can do power wise, because, you know, it has the, you know, this car wasn't meant to go fast. Obviously, if they wanted a fast car, they would given it a bigger body. This car was meant to, you know, carry, it was a cargo and you know, maybe some family utility stuff, just basic stuff. So but yeah, since tuko hapo, wacha tu to discuss. So that comes the end of the video. Najua this is something really new. If I was a bit off on the video, please forgive me. As I said, new stuff is kind of, you know, it gonna challenges, and like you could lose footage and stuff. That was really a bummer. But I do thank you. If you're a new subscriber here, please consider subscribing. I make videos like this. Ukienda kwa channel, I believe utaona I do make videos like this almost after daily. Yeah. So, and if you're an OG subscriber, thank you for watching. Keep sharing. DM me if you have a question, if you have a video suggestion, if you want me to do a video concerning something on the car stuff, niambie. Just let it not be far-fetched. Niambie ni review. Kuna mtu aliniambia ni review SG Lamborghini. Nitatoa wapi Lamborghini Kenya? Just ziko realistic. Yeah. So see you on the next one. Probably kesho. And same stuff. Peace out.